That's why I'm thinking about cutting Foxy off from beer.
What? I didn't hear what you said, Nerf, but I'm going back to my beer.
Makes just as much sense as everything else.
Yep. But you know how I had you watch my collection of, well, figures from the original pizzeria, Bonnie?
Well, of course. I watched them, played with them, but I did watch them. What about them, Freddy?
Well... You see, I got another set of them, and I kind of want to actually do some stuff with them.
Another set. Are the same ones?
No, different ones.
Oh. Well, what do you want to do with them, Freddy?
Bonnie, I think it's time we had our... Oh... I think it's time we had our own segment, the Freddy and Bonnie Looks At.
The who, what, and the huh?
Well, yeah, I got, another set of, figures from another pizzeria, and they're kind of interesting to collect, even though Fazbear is not very accurate. But, it's still fine. I'd like to actually go through these and see what you think of them. I mean, I like them personally, but, I want to hear what you have to say.
Sounds interesting. I guess count me in, then.
Great. I'll get them and set them up now. Alright, they're all set up now. Wow. Are you ready to do this, Bonnie?
Yes. And I'm very excited, too.
Fantastic. Let's get to go, yes. Looking at toys. Didn't mess up on my speech. That being said, I think the first one we're going to look at is Foxy. In all honesty, I kind of like how it looks. Kind of reminds me of a cherry gummy. Like one of those gummy bears or giant gummy snakes. Now, obviously, Bonnie, you've seen, the first collection.
Well, of course I have. You had me watch it.
Well, this one I have a side-by-side comparison. So, just to show you what we're working with here, and that is exactly what I'm talking about. The original next to the new.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people that saw these really did not like them, and they kind of just complained, to Fazbear, about, oh, well, these are just redos of the original. I mean, I can kind of see where they're coming from, but at the same time, it's like, these are still pretty cool,
Well, of course they are. But, let's keep going.
Oh, good old L Chip. In all honesty, I really like the comparison between the two and the contrast in colors. The fact that L Chip in the glow-in-the-dark variant is a much darker brown than the original kind of reminds me of a cola gummy bottle.
I can see what you're getting at with that one.
Yep, and the loot's a little bit more of a beige cream almond color. I don't know why. I think it's just the type of paint they use for the glow-in-the-dark. In all honesty, I think it's a really good figure. And then we have me. Well, another iteration of me at least.
Yeah, I find it kind of weird that there's just multiple iterations of us.
Yeah, but that's just how it goes. I will say one thing though. Between the two, I honestly kind of prefer the metallic purple for the hat, bow tie, and microphone handle. I can see why they didn't with these ones. Usually glow-in-the-dark figures have a more matte, kind of weird, almost rough textured paint. And that's usually just due to, like, well, how it is, and how it's made. Although, the one that I bought, Bonnie, has a white spot on his snoot, so... It's strange, but it's fine. I think that happened when they were painting the teeth or something, just one drop happened to get on. Wonder how much trouble that person got in. Oh, good old Orville Elephant. I will say, It's a bit strange that the actual figure versus the glow-in-the-dark is orange and the glow-in-the-dark is yellow. I've also heard that the ears on the glow-in-the-dark are a lot more flimsy than the regular, probably due to the nature of translucent plastic being very cheap, brittle, and easily breakable.
Huh. That explains a lot.
Although I will say, as decent as the Orville is, he's very hard to stand, considering he doesn't have, like, normal shaped, well, you know, they're just kind of round, and his legs are a bit weak.
What I want to know is, how'd you get the wand to be in his hand, Freddy? I've seen dozens of videos and people can't figure that out. Mainly just because it's small.
I just kind of wedged it between the index finger and thumb, and it just stays in.
Huh. Aren't you worried about the paint scratching off?
Not really. I could just paint it back if I really wanted to.
Fair enough.
One other tiny detail I've noticed is I think the flower on Orville's chest is a bit darker on the glow-in-the-dark, same with his hat, than the other one. Which is a bit strange, but, just a small little thing to note, I suppose. And lastly, on to my least favorite one, Pig Patch. It's not that there's anything inherently wrong with him, it's just, I'm not a huge fan of... Well, overall, I just don't really like the character. I don't mind the fact that he exists, but just something about him is just, I don't know, unsettling, but not in the creepy way, unsettling in a different way. But I suppose that's normal. Yeah, no, I just never really liked him that much.
I can kind of see why. He's a bit, well... strange?
Yep, but in comparison, the strings and the actual banjo, well, they're a lot, pretty much all white on this one. I really can't beat around the bush on that. And on the original, you know, the banjo face is white, but the strings are more metallic silver. And unfortunately, that one is just kind of like loose in the joints. So, take the good with the bad, I suppose. Considering he's my least favorite and I don't plan to open any of these glow-in-the-darks at all, I think that's a fair trade-off.
Well, that's quite the impressive collection you got there, Freddy. I didn't even know that they made, well, the rock stars, and some of the mediocre melodies, and El Chip, even though he's not really part of it. Unless, I don't think he is, actually. Strange.
Yep, and there's still 2 more figures to look at, Bonnie.
What?
Yep, if you got all 5 of the originals, you got to build Scrap Baby, which was a Build-A-Figure. I really wish Fazbear would do more of those, but unfortunately for the time being, they don't really. You know, it's a very loud painted figure, though, I will say that.
A lot of red and orange.
Yep, and if I remember correctly, if you got me, you got Scrap Baby's head. If you got El Chip, you got the claw arm. If you got Foxy, you got the normal arm. If you got Pig Patch, unfortunately, you got both legs. And if you got Orville, you got the torso. Makes the figure, you know, just, I don't know, makes it pop, stand out a little bit more, packaged with, you know, a wide variety of colored characters. So, yeah, not bad.
I mean, true. Didn't you say there's another one?
Yep, I'll get him. And last but not least, good old Lefty. Which, I'm surprised they didn't make a glow-in-the-dark variant for him. Or a Build-A-Figure, for that matter. But that was Fazbear's choice. And I know people usually say that Lefty is basically me. As a side-by-side comparison, one second. If you look at both the figures, Rockstar Freddy's mouth is just a bit more open than Lefty's. And I know people complain that, well, Lefty should be using his left arm, not his right, to be holding the mic, but... you get what you pay for. These were targeted towards kids. In all honesty, I could see nothing wrong with them. So, even if he's not holding the mic in his left hand, which would be, you know, the right one, yeah, I don't mind it at all. At least they made one.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Most places or companies wouldn't even entertain the idea of making a very obscure character.
And that concludes every single figure from the game Pizza Sim. As well as, you know, some friends that we have that we should really invite over at some point soon.
It's a very impressive collection, Freddy. So, what are you gonna do with it?
Well, I'm gonna put the originals back where they were. I'm gonna put these ones up on the wall, just because I think they'd look nice and fill out a little bit more of the space that we have.
A lot more real estate, I suppose.
Exactly my point. Lovely. Well, time to put them on the wall. There we go. Now look at that. Oh, they look so great. From least to greatest. And a future project to look forward to if this is something anyone would be interested in seeing more of. So Bonnie, the idea right now is I have them in opposite order to what I'd actually want. It would actually go, instead of Pigpatch, Orville, L-Chip, Foxy, and me, it would go me, Foxy, L-Chip, Orville, and Pigpatch on that side, in that order, but the regular ones with the Build-A-Figure pieces, and then Lefty in the middle, and I don't know, there'd probably be some extra space. Not entirely sure. But yeah, that's the plan as of right now.
Well, I think that's a pretty cool idea, Freddy. But yeah, let us know if you'd be interested in seeing any more of these. I mean, there's a lot to go over, honestly, that we still have yet to look at. Not necessarily in, but out of box. You know how it is. But yeah, that'd be nice.
Bonnie, who are you talking to?
This video's over.